AdamandJP.com.
Right now.
Exploring the multiverse of pop culture.
This is Podcasserole.
An Adam and JP show.
Welcome to Podcasserole. I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
We're in a strange time right now, JP.
We are. We're starting the show off with breaking news.
Yeah.
Hot off the presses. It's been a rough... Okay, let's go back a few years. Actually, let's go back 20 years or so. 20 years or so. I worked at Toys R Us through most of the 90s. We've talked about that on the show before. At the age of 19, I was a department head at Toys R Us.
A combined, how many years combined? 10, 12?
So I was there from 92 to 98.
6 years.
And then came back in 2004 to 2007.
Oh, okay, just 9 years then.
Yeah.
In my head, it was longer experience.
Yeah.
It still,
feels like a lot longer.
But 9 years in retail is kind of it's a long time still.
Yeah. It's like 2 years in any other job.
Yeah.
So Toys R Us has fallen on hard times.
You could say that.
They filed for bankruptcy. They announced some store closings at the beginning of the year. And now they announced this week that they're going to close all 700 plus stores in the U.S. and Canada.
Right.
Toys R Us is no more. And to top that off, on the day that we record this, Charles Lazarus, who founded Toys R Us, who wanted to create a supermarket of toys, the man who signed my paycheck for almost a decade, died at the age of 93, I think. And I wonder if knowing that his beloved creation was ending,
it's possible.
Into that.
It was either very close or the day after the final Peanuts comic strip. Didn't Charles Schultz die the next day, I think?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You can't write that stuff.
So Toys R Us is gone. You sent me an article last weekend that says KB Toys may be on the way back.
Right. True story, by the way.
They're trying to bring KB Toys back.
Yeah.
And now the CEO of Bratz, the Bratz dolls.
So he's heading this front. Yeah, he has a GoFundMe.com campaign set up, and it is real. You can check out at GoFundMe.com/HelpSaveToysRUs is the actual web address there. And it sounds stupid, but, Toys R Us has a $1 billion debt they must pay, hence the bankruptcy, hence going out of business. And so the GoFundMe campaign is to raise $1.0 billion, which you would think is pretty outrageous and impossible.
That's a lot of money.
But this has been up at the time of this recording in less than 22 hours. And they've raised over $200 million already.
So they're well on their way to the $1 billion goal.
In less than 1 day, they're almost at 1/4 of their goal.
And you were telling me what some of the...
Oh, yeah. So this goes from a normal GoFundMe campaign. You get actual prizes and awards for giving and donating. This goes from $5, which is doable. Or a Toys R Us fan, we could give $5, to $10 million.
$10 million.
Can I give you the rundown of what kind of prizes you get?
Yes,
for $10
I'm very
million?
curious. I'm very curious as to what you can get. Is it a Learjet?
You get a hashtag Save Toys R Us bumper sticker. There's some commas. Hang with me here.
$10 million. Okay.
Yeah, hang with me. You get a pin, a magnet, an I'll Always Be a Toys R Us Kid t-shirt, an invite to a local Toys R Us reopening block party, a signed thank you letter from Isaac Larian, CEO of NGA Entertainment, which I guess is the Bratz guy, and Kid CEO for the day experience, including a trip to a Southern California theme park, travel and accommodations, and Toys R Us store dedication naming rights for location of your choosing, and Toys for Life from Toys R Us.
Toys for Life.
Toys for Life.
So there's probably like a ceiling that you can spend in a year. But they call that Toys for Life.
Toys for Life.
So it could be $20.
Toys for Life, pins, magnets, t-shirts, your own trip with your friends to a theme park, a renaming in your honor of an actual Toys R Us. But each one is very different. The stuff you can do is kind of crazy.
I have several questions about this.
Yeah, what do you have?
Look, obviously history here.
Right.
I love Toys R Us. I worked there twice in my lifetime. Lots of fond memories. The old 8840, that was the store number for the Bellevue
nice.
Toys R Us, 8840. I've unloaded a lot of trucks. I've touched a lot of toys back in the 90s that are worth a lot of money today. I have a huge problem with this.
Really? In which way?
I think that the bankruptcy of Toys R Us is over a decade in the making because they were having problems when I was there in the mid-2000s. And even at that time, they had partnered with Amazon, and they were the Amazon toy supplier. So if you went to Amazon.com and bought online, you were actually buying from Toys R Us. Toys R Us is where Amazon was getting their toys.
Really?
But they've made a lot of bad decisions going back to the early and mid-2000s. A lot of bad financial decisions. A lot of remodeling that was unnecessary. And spent money where they shouldn't be spending money, and then didn't spend money on things like having enough employees to staff the store during peak season. A lot of this is Toys R Us fault. I think there's a lot better things you could raise $1 billion for. Like, imagine how far in, I don't know, cancer research $1 billion would go.
Clean water.
For a country that doesn't have clean water.
Yeah.
Or an area that doesn't have clean water. Electricity in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
For $1 billion.
And this is strictly, headed by the CEO of a company. Clearly, he wants more money involved in this.
And probably has aspirations of being the Toys R Us CEO.
And I would imagine
he brings it back.
Any major toy company, from what I've read, a lot of toy companies, if you're not a big name like a Lego or a Hasbro or someone, you're kind of afraid because as much as the sales have dropped for Toys R Us retail stores, it's still a major outlet to get your name out there.
Yeah, well, even for Hasbro and company or Mattel and companies like that.
Yeah.
Which one bought which? Was it Hasbro bought Mattel, right?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think Hasbro bought Mattel.
I wish Collection Connection was still around to tell us. I wish I could know that way.
Look what happens. Collection Connection ends, Toys R Us closes.
Ooh,
coincidence?
That is a good correlation.
Is that a little NWO news preview? I don't know.
But yeah, GoFundMe.com/help save Toys R Us.
So I have a Friday song for this week.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to try to do this at least every other week.
Okay.
Bring you a Friday song. And I went with the obvious this week, The Cure.
Oh, nice.
With Friday I'm in Love.
Nothing
Enjoy. I do love this song.
It's a good song.
Can't really make fun of this song. I mean, I guess you could.
If you saw them live, you could. You could.
I really thought the lyrics would start by now.
That's how it works.
I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's gray, and Wednesday's Yes.
I think I found the Toys R Us pledge I want to give.
What is it?
It's the
Are you going to donate to this after we just talked about everything else you could raise $1 billion?
No, this is the $25,000 to $50,000 mark.
Oh, okay.
This is hypothetical, but you get all the stuff: the bumper stickers, the pins, the magnets, the shirts, the invite to the local Toys R Us reopening block party, and what tickles my fancy, a tour of the Ohio Little Tykes factory, which is the oldest toy factory currently operating in the U.S.
Little Tykes Toys.
Yeah, you get a tour of that.
Maker of Little Tykes Trike, Little Tykes Playhouses, Little Tykes car seats.
What is the Unboxed series? What is that? One of these you get attendance at a special taping of Unboxed series.
Welcome to Unboxed.
Oh, man.
Big show today, Adam.
That's huge.
Big show.
Huge.
We've done this before. We're going to go back in time. Go back all the way to 1988. One of my favorite TV shows of all time, Unsolved Mysteries.
That's good.
We have a special, I guess it's almost like an NWO special. Would you call it NWO? Well, no.
Yeah.
It's Unsolved Mysteries. Here's the thing what Unsolved Mysteries did. If you're not familiar, it was an Unsolved Mystery. Who hasn't seen this? Am I explaining this for no reason?
Well, I think if you're below the age of 25, you don't know Unsolved
But
Mysteries.
don't they still show Unsolved Mysteries on cable? Like reruns?
I don't think so.
No?
If so, which channel?
No one's showing Unsolved Mysteries?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but
They brought it back in the early 2000s on Lifetime, but who's watching Lifetime in 2001? Hopefully no one in this show.
true.
Yeah.
Unsolved Mysteries was a show that was a long-running show on NBC, several seasons. Originally, it was specials that they would do where they would highlight unsolved crimes that were, and they were trying to actually solve the crimes, like bank robberies, and then it was originally hosted by, who's the actor that played Perry Mason?
Oh, yeah.
Raymond Burr.
Right.
Raymond Burr hosts the first one, and then Carl Malden, famous for the American Express commercials in the 80s, he was the host of 2 or 3 other specials that they did. And then when it became a series, the icon,
Big Bob Stack.
Robert Stack, stepped in.
Yeah.
and hosted the series on NBC.
How do you get a voice like that? Man,
Jack Daniels and cigarettes.
that's a good deep voice.
So, yeah, this goes back to season 1. What?
That's still a funny joke. I don't know.
Season 1, episode 2 of Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
About an unexplained death. Well, we'll let you decide if it's unexplained or not. But it's part of the Satanic Panic series of episodes that Unsolved Mysteries would do.
With some LARPing.
There is murder, possible murder, LARPing, D&D, all in what we're going to cover in the mysterious death of Kurt McFall. That's coming up when we review Unsolved Mysteries. However, there's a couple of things that we need to take care of, and the first one is this. So this week, it's actually Sons of Bitches.
Oh,
You
yeah.
Sons of Bitches. The SOB OTW this week, Joshua Stark, Jason Trotter, Landon Carroll, Nicole Graham, Sean Curtis, Jessica Worley, Mackenzie Boyd, all reaching out to us, commenting in one way or another on Facebook about what we have dubbed 2018 Twinkie Pickle Challenge. And that's just a few of the names. There are a lot more.
I really hope this happens for you.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
You'll be the one holding the phone to put it on Facebook Live. Here's how do you want to explain how the 2018 Twinkie Pickle Challenge works?
Yeah, so give me the rundown of which I know we have to have 50 iTunes positive reviews on there.
5-star reviews.
Correct. Yeah.
On iTunes.
50 of those, and also we want 25 $5 Patreon patrons as well. Now, the prizes of each one, I still get mixed up without it in front of me.
So this happens by June 1st. By June 1st, 2018, you have mere weeks to get this done. 55-star reviews. Total of 50. I think we're at 25
25,
right now.
26, yeah.
I will eat on this show and Facebook Live. You know, I think I made a comment last week
What's that?
about how sad it is when people go on reality shows. And they'll do anything for attention. They'll do anything to get anybody to pay attention to them.
And then 12 hours later, you're on Facebook holding a big jar of pickles and some old Twinkies.
55-star reviews on Apple Podcasts get you the opportunity to see me eat a key slime pie Twinkie that expired almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We haven't even opened the box.
It's still sealed. We're looking at it.
Yeah, it's
Just
still
look at
there.
it.
The 20.
Oh, there's the pickle. There they are.
Yeah, they're right there. Oh, did you think I'd gotten rid of the pickles?
I wasn't sure.
No,
Maybe do
those
the old-
pickles are going to sit right there.
Do the old pickle swap. I don't know.
We're not even going to open them again.
Hey, smell it again.
No. Oh, no. The 25 $5 Patreons will get you the opportunity to see me eat what I'm calling an LAX pickle. It's a jar of pickles I brought home from the Louisville Arcade Expo.
Yeah.
They were gifted to me by the Broken Token podcast, and then a stranger shoved his hand in there, went all the way down to the bottom.
This is ultimate pickle fermentation.
It really is.
I'm curious.
Like our own little biology experiment is going on over here.
Yeah, it's fun to watch every week. How much is a jar of pickles that big?
I don't know.
But those aren't normal pickles.
No, those are it's like fair pickles.
Like one of those pickles wouldn't go in a normal jar of pickles.
That's a carnival pickle. No, one of those pickles wouldn't fill up and they're Vlasic. Am I going to eat one of those pickles? You bet Vlasic I'm going to.
No, that's a crunch. What is the Duckman what does he say? I forget.
I'd buy that for $1. No, wait a minute. That's not it. That's RoboCop.
Maybe he's a stork. What is he?
He is a stork.
Yeah. Always more of a Clausen guy myself. Keep those pickles cold.
You like the Clausen?
Yeah, keep those cold.
Yeah.
Don't give me a room temp pickle.
Well, that's not only room temp.
It's been room temp and opened. And
we're talking about June 1st.
Yeah.
Like there's some serious health hazards looming for this.
I want to tell you stuff, but I don't want you to not eat the pickle.
And that's okay. No, I mean, I've already agreed to it.
Okay. Well, so odds are.
So if we get the 25 $5 Patrons, which is not a lot.
Yeah. Let's give you benefit of the doubt and say that gentleman, before he put his hands in your pickle jar, let's say he used the restroom and he did wash his hands. I'll give him benefit of the doubt. Good guy, good hygiene. But he's at an arcade expo.
Yep.
And without a doubt, before the pickle grab, he had his hand on multiple joysticks.
Yeah.
Multiple buttons. And without a doubt, there's no way that people using the joysticks and buttons before him always wash their hands after the restroom. So you got some duty pickles over there.
No.
Oh, man, it's still good.
Crying Alex Jones.
It's always the best.
Yeah.
Just don't think about that when you bite into that. You think it'll have a crunch still?
I don't
Or more of like a sog slop to it?
It will probably be like it will probably be rubbery.
Yeah.
And so I'll have to, just bite through it.
Yeah.
And then whatever's inside that pickle will probably just shoot out the end.
I mean, this means a lot to you. You won't use your cell phone in the restroom in fear.
Yes.
In
please back me up on
in
this.
fear of your own poop particles possibly getting on the screen of your phone.
Right.
And here you are, without a doubt, eating a pickle covered in other people's poop particles. That's like a tongue twister. A pickle covered in other people's poop particles. Try it.
The old poop pickle. I'm Poop Pickle Rick. And that's how it all started.
Yeah. I hope the pickles win. I mean, the slime will be fun as well, but I don't know.
And here's the thing, like the June 1st deadline. So I don't know what day of the week June 1st is on. We usually record on Thursday night for a Friday release. So we will record whatever Thursday that June, after the June 1st, the first Thursday. I don't know, maybe on June, I don't know. But they both have to happen that night.
That's true.
If we reach both goals on Facebook Live, you will see me eat.
This is good. June 1st is a Friday.
Oh, okay.
So we'll know by that Thursday night if it's going to happen or not.
Yeah.
Have a last minute, like a marathon call in to dial it up. The good thing is, June 2nd is a Saturday. So you can spend the whole weekend just being sick. Yeah.
I got the whole weekend to get it all out of my system.
That's good. That's good.
So on Facebook Live, I will eat the Twinkie first, and then the pickle if both goals are reached.
Is it possible to put the pickle in the Twinkie? Is that possible? Just to squeeze like a Cheeto, just squeeze it in there.
If we reach both goals,
yeah, just one fell swoop.
It'll be a combo.
Okay, there you go.
It'll be an old pickle combo.
You've seen the gas station like beef logs with the cheese combo?
Uh-huh.
You kind of eat them both at the same time when they're both in your hand. Just give one of those to it.
Yeah.
A snap pop.
Oh, boy.
It's more of a squish.
How did I let you talk me into this?
You did it yourself. It's exciting, though. It really is.
Anything else fun happening with you this week?
Not much, no. Just doing my stuff, watching some Unsolved Mysteries. I got my wife on Minecraft, so that's a good crack addiction to try to stop. People love Minecraft.
Loves it.
It's one of the best games ever.
One of my nephews loved Minecraft.
Yeah. Right, to this day, if you ask me on a deserted island, Adam, you have one game to play the rest of your life. I'm picking Minecraft.
I'm picking GTA 5.
That's a good one. That's good. Have you advanced more in that in your second playthrough?
Maybe Fallout 4.
Yeah. You
No.
pick 4 over 3, would you? And looking back, I think I like 3 more than 4.
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
4, I never finished. I never beat 4.
Yeah. Well, join us next week.
Oh.
And we're going to talk about the games of the year 2008.
Little teaser there.
Games that turned 10 years old.
Yeah.
Next
Makes me
week.
feel old. Makes me feel old.
One of those games we just talked about is on that list.
That's true.
You can Google it and find out. We're at episode 295, Adam.
Yeah. It's almost,
We and we have mentioned this many times before. It's actually a lot more than that.
right. But the new counting, it's like a new 52 kind of thing.
Yeah. When it became official.
Like, issue 1 of Superman. No, that's not how that works.
When we realized we were going to do this for a while.
This is the Adam and JP show or podcast roll, volume 3, maybe.
It really is.
Yeah, it's like a volume 3.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. 295. That means we're fastly approaching number 300.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to ask you right here on the show. Do you want to celebrate and go all out for number 300?
I think we should.
Should we?
I think
How
so.
should we celebrate?
That's a good question. I think for 200, didn't we have people call in?
Yeah.
Like some interviews?
Uh-huh. We also had Mike Gordon from ESO. He called in to help us
That's
celebrate
what I was
episode
thinking.
200.
Yeah. Was our friend Bear, did he call in?
I think Bear was right around 200 because I
Yeah.
remember him mentioning that when we were talking about the haunted rides at Disney
Yeah.
World. I'd like a celebrity on number 300.
Oh, you think so?
I think I would like a honest, full-fledged celebrity
Yeah.
in the garage recording with us
Oh, wow.
for episode 300.
And the garage, wow.
Well, Nashville has become a pretty happening city over the last couple of
It's
years.
a hip place to be.
It is
Yeah.
a hip. There's a lot of hip, cool celebrity types
Yeah.
around here. Let's think of who we have around here.
Let's see.
There's
Do you want transplants that moved here because it's cool, or that were born and raised here because of music?
either or.
You know what I mean? There's you have your, I don't know, Nicole Kidman's. She's not like a Nashville native,
Yeah.
but you have like a Luke Bryan. He's a Nashville native, grossly.
Is he a Nashville
You
native?
know, you think of him like he's here for the music, and that's
Yeah.
what. But Nicole Kidman has no business being here.
Get out of here, Nicole Kidman.
Let's be honest.
Unless you want to come on our show.
Exactly.
And then you're more than welcome
So
to help us
welcome.
celebrate number 300.
We can share a pickle, start on each end, do the old Lady and the Tramp pickle dip.
What if? Wait a minute. Is number 300 the pickle challenge?
Wait,
I haven't done this math.
maybe. Wow.
Are we going to have a celebrity in the garage
Wow.
to watch me eat Twinkies and pickles?
You have a celebrity to watch you projectile vomit.
Oh, boy.
That could be fun.
I've never puked on a celebrity before.
First time for everything.
I guess. Well, I mean, and with Nicole Kidman, there's also Keith Urban.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's lots of country music stars.
Right. Yeah.
Then you've got the likes of Justin Timberlake,
Right.
who owns property very close to
Yeah.
us.
Jack
think
White is
he's-
nearby.
I don't think it is. You think Jack White's coming on the show?
Nah.
And if he comes on the show, is he going to speak?
Yeah. Kind of pissy, I think. He'd be pissy.
Is he just going to sit over in the corner and play the bass all night?
It's possible. Just sadly bass. I don't know.
Is this what you wanted me to come on the show for?
That's all you want me for, isn't it?
Boom, boom.
There is some. There's,
I'd rather you sing steady as she goes.
you know, there is. If you wanted, I can within a phone call. There's an SNL alumni literally down your street.
Yeah, but then Donald Trump's going to come up, and that's not going to end well.
That's so funny for years.
I've never punched a celebrity
For
before.
years we've teated on that. On like, should we?
Well,
No,
yeah,
should no.
It's been a discussion.
I mean, it would be
several times.
super simple to have it happen.
Like not only an SNL alum,
Mm-hmm.
but a member of the SNL cast from what I think is probably some of the best times
Yeah.
on Saturday Night Live.
Right?
That's right. We're talking about Martin Short.
So if you want that could happen.
Joe Piscopo. We can have Joe Piscopo on the show next week.
That'd be a fun 300, right?
I don't care if it's. I mean, I would do a country music singer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's a cool country music? Like somebody that we would. Like we could talk to, that we could actually converse with.
Then I'd have
Like
to-
there's things I know there's things we could talk
I'd
about.
have to lie and act like I like country music.
You don't have to.
Yeah. Just over here being the pissy guy.
I bet we could get Daryl Worley in a heartbeat.
Do you think so? I haven't heard that name in a long time. What, was Gary Allen busy?
Have you forgotten? What about Darius Rucker? He's got the Hootie thing.
The Hootie.
You loved Hootie and the Blowfish.
sounds
Are you going to lie and say you didn't love Hootie?
I loved
and
him back in the day. Crack
Yeah.
Review was great.
Yeah.
But you can't talk like he's a disease. You know, he's got the Hootie.
He's got the Hootie and the Blowfish. He caught the Hootie from a blowfish.
I think he's out of our reach,
You
right?
think so?
He's a big guy.
I don't know. Maybe not. Because I know for a fact that Darius Rucker does a fantastic Dusty Rhodes impression.
Oh, yeah, I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, I've played for you him doing
yeah.
a Dusty Rhodes impression.
Yeah.
Darius Rucker in the garage doing his Dusty Rhodes impression on number 300.
I could be down with that.
Is that too lofty of a goal to set?
Yes.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. But I mean,
Yeah.
so if we want to get Darius Rucker on the show, like just say like that's what we decide we want to do. Do we go the route where you just tweet at him?
No, they don't. That happens a dozen times a day,
Yeah.
at least.
Hey Darius, if you come on the show, I'll eat
Yeah.
a pickle.
Yeah. You know, how many people ask to be on their podcast a day. Come on, we got to stand. We got to stand out. Got to stand out.
Then maybe we should go to local newscasters.
That's true. We can do that. We can do that. I don't know.
Are there local newscasters? Can we get Big Joe Dubin on the show?
Who's Joe? I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, Big Joe on the go.
Oh yeah,
Sports guy.
I never watched it.
What you hate local channels? Is that
Yeah,
what you're gonna say?
yeah. I even have it now to watch on YouTube TV. But what's the point?
I watch the local news.
Every single thing they're telling me, I could have learned 30 minutes ago,
That's true.
or
Unless
a
it
day
happens
ago.
during the newscast.
Yeah, unless it's breaking news. But even then, it's on my phone. In 2018, I see no appeal.
You're not lying.
no
It
appeal.
is all really old
Yeah.
news.
I used to think it was because I didn't have it. Now I have access. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? why am I here right now? What's happening?
So no Big Joe on the go?
No. What about Big Joe Case? What happened to him?
Joe Case, wasn't he a weatherman?
Maybe.
Here we go, talking about old TV personalities in Nashville. If you're listening in Tacoma, I'm
I
sorry.
apologize.
Well, let's think about it. I think we should. I think we should try for Darius Rucker.
You're serious about Darius Rucker?
I mean, I know some people.
If you want to spam the Big Ruck Man's Twitter feed, go for it.
I'm not going to spam his Twitter feed.
Yeah.
Unless I'm certain that it's already been predetermined he's going to come
Right.
on the show.
Yeah.
I've never used,
Your sway.
I've never done that. And I kind of have a thing like I don't want to go up and hound, artist to come on the show.
It'd be fun to have him. I'm a Hootie fan.
But maybe I could poke around
Do it.
via different channels.
Let's play with the Hootie.
What about...
What I would like to do with him is play that Hits the Spotify with Hootie and the Blowfish with him.
See, that's what I'm thinking. How fun would that be?
Could he guess the top 5? Yeah.
Darius Ricker sitting here, and we have that Hits the Spotify with him, with Hootie and the Blowfish.
Well, Hootie. Where are the Blowfish?
Well, I mean, it's just, But, we'd be playing the group.
Yeah. Was he Hootie? Was he the symbolic
No,
Hootie?
I don't think so.
He wasn't,
Though that's what everyone called him.
Right.
In 1993.
Exactly.
Hootie, and then there's the Blowfish. I'm sure he loves telling that story. We're not bringing that up
Exactly.
if he's on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we don't have him. We should have someone like a
Okay,
lower level.
look.
Let's be like a more realistic level.
Okay. Joe Case.
Back to that again.
Joe Dubin. You want some local radio guys? I know them all.
Yeah, exactly.
I can have Joe Elvis like
There
this.
you go. Yeah.
Is he even still on?
I don't think so.
What about Proud Mary? You want Proud Mary? She can be here like that.
But Kim Commando, where's she going to be?
I don't know. She does her show from her house.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. Much like this.
Yeah. Works.
I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll
Yeah.
discuss.
I'm curious.
Okay, I'm gonna slide this out here though. If any of my friends that have connections to any fun country music artists, like we want someone on here that's gonna play along with us. Like we don't want. I understood this was on radio. No, I don't want that. I want somebody who's gonna think it's fun to come to a garage.
Yeah.
And sit with people they don't know and talk into microphones
I think more celebrities should do that.
for the internet.
It's realism. It's people
Yeah.
living,
So, if anyone that listens to this kind of knows anybody, then get us anybody. DM me on Twitter. We'll see what we can do.
We'll make it work. We can provide numbers, downloads if we need to. We're legit.
Sure, we could do that.
We're legitimate.
Yeah, absolutely. We're too legit to quit. I mean, we're about to do conspiracy stories. So
and talk about games from 10 years ago.
Okay, so I'm going to let you make the call here. I have this week in NWO news.
Yeah.
Do you want me to save this for next week? Because it can hold over,
Yeah, we can save it.
and then we can get into the Unsolved Mysteries.
Let's do it, yeah.
Okay.
We'll save it for next time.
So we're going to go back to 1988, the TV show Unsolved Mysteries. We're going to highlight one story from Season 1, Episode 2, The Mysterious Death of Kurt McFall. And we'll do it.
Next.
Hey guys, are you looking for a new podcast to listen to? Something a little on the geeky side, but lots and lots of fun with some crazy dudes? Well, have I got something for you? It's called the Vitamin Geek Podcast. I'm the host, Corey Keelan, and I'm here with my friends Eric Williams.
What's up?
Patrick Sykes.
Greetings, everyone.
And Michael Zippy Miller.
Hey there.
We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Horror movies, science fiction. We love Star Wars. Who doesn't love Star Wars? If you don't like Star Wars, get the hell off of here. Check us out, man. Vitamin Geek Podcast right here on the ESO Network.
It's all part of the plan.
Even the theme song was creepy for Unsolved
It
Mysteries.
is. It gives me the creeps still.
Yeah. Creepy theme song.
And I've told you about this last time we did an Unsolved Mysteries episode. When I watch this show, I still want to eat beans and cornbread and fried potatoes. I texted my mom.
That's what you associate with
I
it.
texted my mom today, like, hey, what? Whenever we were kids, when I was a kid, did we eat the same thing almost every night of the week? Like, how did it work like that? Because in my head, watching that show makes me want to have beans and cornbread. And she told me, yes, I think she said every Wednesday night we had beans and cornbread. So
And Unsolved Mysteries came on Wednesday night.
that's funny. So I just assumed that was Wednesday night.
Wednesday, 7 Central.
Yeah, every Wednesday was beans and cornbread night.
Only on NBC.
There you go.
Come on home to NBC.
That makes sense, right?
Let's all be there on NBC.
That's what we watch and eat.
NBC, let's all be there.
That's a Southern staple, the old beans and cornbread trick.
It really is.
That's a dirt-ass cheap meal, isn't it? Pardon my Francois.
Beans and cornbread.
Yeah, exactly.
No meat,
Yeah.
just beans
Yeah.
and cornbread.
And we were special night. We had fried taters.
Oh,
Yeah.
not mashed taters.
No, fried. Like
Fried
diced and
taters.
fried, little diced up onions in there. Yeah, but my breath was fantastic.
And that is the true Unsolved Mystery. Season 1, Episode 2 of Unsolved Mysteries featured the story of Kurt McFall. Now, this falls into a series of unsolved mystery stories that you could classify as part of the satanic panic of the late 80s and 90s. Do you remember this when
I've heard of it.
everything was the devil?
Yeah.
Like rock music was the devil.
Yeah.
Anything like comic books was the devil. D&D was the devil.
Foosball.
Foosball. You're wrong, Colonel Sanders. So Unsolved Mysteries did a lot of satanic panic type stories in their run. And this is the story of Kurt McFall. And as always, Robert Stack comes in after the commercial break or before the commercial break and sets up the story.
Next, a San Francisco teenager who strayed into a world of witchcraft, magic, and mysticism. His father believes he was murdered.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
Then you go to commercial
Ding,
break.
ding, 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 ding.
You know, it's like a Purity Dairy.
Yeah.
Hey, Vern, it's Ernest. Then a promo for Knight Rider this Friday night.
Right,
Friday
yeah.
night at 7. And then you come back. And then when you come back from the commercial break, Robert Stack is there to set the story up for you.
On Saturday, September 8th, 1984, a teenage boy drove from his home in Concord, California, across the Bay Bridge into San Francisco. He'd planned to spend the night and return home Sunday evening. Monday, September 10th, 3 days later, on some rugged cliffs in a remote area of San Francisco Bay, 2 men were birdwatching. On the isolated beach below, they discovered the bruised, half-naked body of 17-year-old Kurt McFall. His father suspects foul play.
Kurt told this friend of his that he was involved in some kind of satanic cult and that he wanted out, but thought that they might try to kill him. And he really feared for his life. It was a murder. It needs to be investigated. There's no doubt in my mind that Kurt could have handled himself in that cliff area because he was an experienced mountain climber and he was a diver. So he would not have drowned in the water or fallen down the hill.
I have questions about that statement when I first watched it.
Okay, all right. Well, first of all, before you say that,
yeah.
I want to stress, because we are talking about an actual real-life murder.
Right.
And in no way are we making fun of Kurt McFall, the murder of Kurt McFall. We may poke fun at some of the ridiculous accusations and theories that go along with this, but in no way are we actually making fun of the murder of someone or the death of someone.
Yeah.
Maybe not murder, but death. So what were you going to say?
I mean, stuff like that. His father not takes up for him, but kind of blows up the story that at 17 years old, Kurt is an experienced rock climber and diver. At 17 years old.
Right.
So there's no way he could have died or drowned because he's a rock climbing diver master artist.
Right.
At 17.
At 17. And, I mean, obviously you're dealing with... So this happened in 1984. This episode airs in 1988, which means it was probably... All this was probably shot sometime in 87 or early 88. So still not an awful lot of time. He's still a grieving dad.
Oh, yeah.
And he's looking for... He just lost... I mean, could you imagine? Like a 17-year-old son. So obviously this father is in a place where he's looking for... It's always easier to think there's a conspiracy or something's bigger than he went out and just fell off this cliff. So he's going to come in with he was an experienced rock climber. He knew what he was doing. And then remember in that, and that was kind of long, but he gets a mysterious anonymous phone call that says that he was murdered, which just sends this grieving dad into overdrive with thinking something nefarious has happened to his son. So his dad thinks it's murder. And you've watched this. So, I think you feel the same way. I mean, truly, I feel like the dad was maybe exploited a little bit.
You think so?
By Unsolved Mysteries.
You think so?
You know, to tell this kind of, so they could have a good story.
Yeah.
Do you not think so?
Maybe so, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it took what his idea was and made a story out of that, but
Yeah.
I mean, because the people that he will eventually blame will meet in a bit here.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, no. They're creepy and weird, as you'll probably hear and see, but they have nothing to do with it.
So he was involved with the cult. So we need to find out more about the cult.
Well, Some air quotes there.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. I mean, so we go back to Robert Stack, and listen, my favorite line in this, and be listening for this, is when Robert Stack talks about witchcraft, mysticism, and possible murder.
Kurt McFall, dead at 17. To outward appearances, Kurt was a handsome and popular high school student, a confident young man who made friends easily.
Tom McFall has learned there was another side to his teenage son. The day after Kurt disappeared, Tom received an anonymous telephone call telling him that his son had wanted to escape from a cult and that he feared for his life. Tom now believes that Kurt strayed from his suburban middle-class background into a world of witchcraft, mysticism, and possibly murder.
Oh, Robert Stack. I love it when they take him on location. Oh, we need to get Stack on the cliffs. We need him on the cliffs of Dover. Talking about a death.
It's that grumble. Like, even a two-syllable word, he can make last 3 seconds. Murder. You know? It's everlasting.
Witchcraft, mysticism, and possible murder. Go deep on this one. Because he was the voice of the Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So my question, Adam, is we have plenty of evidence, like real life evidence, that cults exist.
Oh, yeah.
You have Waco. You have the Heaven's Gate cult. You have the Manson family. I mean, you know, the short American history is wrought with cults.
Oh, yeah.
People actually get involved in cults. Jonestown. So is it possible that, as if we know cults are real, is there at least a possibility that Kurt did fall into some sort of cult that he wanted to get out of?
It's possible.
And you've seen this whole thing.
Yeah. That's possible. I mean, anything's possible. If it exists, there's a possibility for it to be part of it.
Yeah. But
if you're asking if I believe, I do not.
Well, I think the next clip we play, this kind of explains where that theory starts to fall apart just a little bit.
Alarmed by the strange phone call, Tom searched his son's bedroom.
After I had received the telephone call, I thought a lot about this individual as to what he knew about Kurt's disappearance. I wanted to gain all the information I could as to what happened.
In Kurt's room, Tom discovered a knife made from a deer's hoof, a necklace of stone and feathers, and drawings of witchcraft and violent fantasies. These seemed to be further proof that Kurt was leading a double life. At 10, he'd become interested in the medieval fantasy game Dungeons and Dragons. It was the beginning of a voyage into a subculture that would dominate Kurt.
Now let's review what Robert Stack just said.
Yeah.
At 10, he began playing a role-playing fantasy game called Dungeons and Dragons. And then basically it says Dungeons and Dragons was his portal.
Yeah, his gateway.
To devil worshiping. He just makes that leap.
It just goes to it.
10 started playing Dungeons and Dragons. By 17, a cult kills him. A devil cult kills him.
Right, because he wanted to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, in this, if you watch this on, I think you can see this on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's how I
right?
watched it, yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime. If you watch this, not only was there D&D books and rabbit knives, but a fantastic Huey Lewis and the News poster in the room.
I did see that, yeah.
Now, let's take young Adam back to high school.
Okay, yeah.
Music, art, literature. Did you do drawings in high school?
No,
at
I was
all?
Terrible artist. Yeah, terrible.
Did you have friends who drew?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And did you ever see any of their art that if you saw an adult draw that would raise some eyebrows?
Yeah, I'll tell you stories later on that I can't say on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say that sometimes the adolescent art, is maybe an outlet where aggression or other, thoughts and feelings manifest themselves is in art.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have plenty, I'm like you, I was not gifted with being a very good artist. But I did have a lot of friends who drew a lot of creepy things in high school. A lot of friends who drew a lot of creepy things. So I just kind of chalked that up to being a high school kid. I don't think D&D is of the devil.
I'm not sure how that got correlated whatsoever.
I mean,
it's been like that for a while.
If you know
now.
anything about D&D, it really has nothing to do with the devil at all.
No, I don't know how that. I don't know.
It's all fantasy.
People are grasping for stuff.
Yeah.
A close friend of both of ours. One time, I may have told the story before, but a quick story back in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, the Darth Maul character, a friend of both of ours, had a life-size Darth Maul poster on his wall. His mother comes in and rips it off the wall. Actually rips it. I was there when this happened. Ripped it off the wall because she thought that personified and symbolized Satan.
Darth Maul?
Darth Maul. Red character, glowy eyes, horns. Just said that was Satan. Took it off his wall.
None of that devil stuff in my house.
Isn't that crazy? Saying Darth Maul is Satan.
I bet you got some D&D books around here somewhere.
I can smell them.
And a rabbit knife. Okay, so just to recap what's going on here. Gets the mysterious call. Kurt's dad gets the call. Searches the room. Finds the D&D books, knife, and Huey Lewis the News poster. He believes his son was murdered by a devil cult. A cult of Satan. Devil worshippers. Just like AC/DC. Def Leppard.
Think he was a sports fan, like sports album? Huey Lewis in the News?
Sports. But the plot thickens at him. Not only was Kurt involved in D&D, there was something else he did. Another society he was part of.
A year before he died, Kurt joined the Society for Creative Anachronism, or SCA. Its members enjoy reliving medieval customs and the actual costumes of the period. Once a week, they practice jousting and sword fighting in the parking lot of an Oakland subway station.
Kurt was here about twice a week through February and into March of '84. Learned how to fight. He was good, quick, talented. Really going to be very good at the game. We were real pleased with him. And his death certainly had nothing to do with any part of his participation in the SCA that I knew anything about.
That was the voice of Hillary Powers, who is the president of SCA in 1988. And she was in costume while doing that interview.
Is the SCA still a proper thing now?
I don't know. I didn't look that up. We should look that up and see if it's still around.
I'm looking stuff now on Reddit, and they're talking about the SCA right now.
Really?
Yeah, I'll keep digging deeper.
Okay.
It's a real time update here.
So today we call this LARP, live action role play.
Right.
And many people participate in this every weekend in parks across the country.
Yeah.
Not the parking lot of a subway station.
Right.
Would have been better if it was the parking lot of a Subway restaurant. They gather here in the parking lot of a Subway restaurant. Look, there goes Jared. What a great guy.
Well,
he'd never do anything wrong. Now back to Hillary. All right, so Kurt plays D&D. Kurt LARPs. He's part of live action role play. But he has a friend that believes that all of this is part of basically part of a devil cult that Kurt fell into.
As Kurt became increasingly interested in medieval rituals, he joined a separate group who initiated him into pagan religion. One of Kurt's old high school friends feared this new group and contacted Tom McFall. He had become concerned for Kurt and now fears for his own safety.
Gradually, over a period of perhaps 6 months, his attitude towards other people changed drastically. He kind of moved from just studying with an interest in medieval religion to actually adopting that religion as his. He lost a lot of his friends through that process.
So I think we know who the anonymous caller to Kurt's dad at the beginning of the story was.
You put that together pretty easily, right?
Was this friend. Now, I'm about to play something for you that actually is pretty creepy. That kind of changes the dynamic of this whole story. But it's not uncommon as kids go from their teens to their adult years that their peer groups change.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You meet someone over here that you're more in line with, then you start hanging out with them. That's not really pushing your friends away. Obviously, this friend felt that way. And I don't know if this friend is actually drawing a line from D&D and LARPing to being part of a devil cult, but I don't know. Now, at this point, to me, it seems a bit far-fetched that something nefarious actually happened. However, we do meet somebody in this next clip that is the creepiest person in this entire story. We're just going to call him Creepy Gabe, though he changes his name like 4 times in it.
Kurt studied pagan religion with Gabriel Carrillo, who uses the ancient Welsh name Caradoc.
This is a religion which is also an art, a craft, which has techniques which are, at their essence, magical. I met Kurt because he had evinced an interest in magic. Kurt was real bright and real curious about just about everything.
His involvement with this group can be compared to a drug addiction, where you begin thinking that you've got it in control and you can take it when you want, but gradually losing that sense of knowing when to stop until you're a junkie.
We regard evil as a human phenomenon. I do not make any attempt to control people's lives. People are free to come and go at their own discretion, just as Kurt did. If anything, the emphasis that we have is on individuals taking control of their own lives.
So that's Creepy Gabe.
Yeah.
That was Kurt's friend there halfway through, too, talking about it. It became like a drug for him. All right, so when you play the beginning of that clip, you might picture this group in hoods and robes gathered around a bonfire in a subway parking lot somewhere in San Bernardino. Actually, that was Gabe's living room with really bad carpeting, bad curtains.
And that was actual footage, yeah.
Yeah, a hi-fi stereo system over in the corner. And they keep zooming in on the cat who's walking around. And at no point did they sacrifice the cat, which is probably a good sign.
Not on camera, at least.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. However, Gabe is creepy. Gabriel Katana, whatever he's calling
Carrillo,
himself.
I think Carrillo, yeah.
Carrillo.
I'm looking up his obituary right now, so I know.
He's dead?
Oh, yeah, he died 10 years ago.
No.
Yeah, the whole story.
Really?
With your next update, your Unsolved Mysteries update coming soon.
Oh,
ding, 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 ding,
we
ding.
will have an update at the end of this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm curious how.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Creepy Gabe.
Yeah.
What do you think so far? Where's your mind headed?
So now I'm kind of torn because the things I'm reading in real time as we listen to this, and I watched it today, and I'm still reading stuff online as we speak, and as I read this stuff, my thoughts are changing.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, well, that's Creepy Gabe. Now, the plot thickens even further because the night that Kurt died, he actually spent the night at Creepy Gabe's house.
Keep
The
that in
coroner's
mind.
report determined that Kurt died from multiple traumatic injuries and severe blood loss. But no one knows what caused those injuries. Kurt may have drowned, but that would not explain his cuts and abrasions or the acute loss of blood. It appears that Kurt fell from the treacherous cliffs, but it is not known if he fell accidentally or if he was beaten and pushed.
I went to the San Francisco coroner and I said, "What do you think happened to Kurt?" And he said, "I think the most probable cause of Kurt's death is homicide." But he said he didn't have enough to testify to that in a court of law, and so he sent it up to homicide, classified as unknown. And I can't accept that.
The San Francisco police declined to be interviewed. They investigated Kurt's death but found no evidence to classify it as a homicide. The case remains open, but there are no suspects. Although he has no proof, Tom McFall still believes his son was murdered.
Kurt may have uncovered something in the organization and may have indicated to people that he was going to expose this. And I feel that all of these things probably contributed to them to wanting to do away with Kurt.
My personal theory is that Kurt stumbled onto some information that he wasn't supposed to know about. These types of organizations don't make threats, they make actions.
If I wanted to murder somebody, the last person I would murder was somebody who was staying at my house and whose father knew that he was staying at my house. I mean, the whole thing is stupid. I understand that Kurt's father went through a great deal of pain about his death and needed to find somebody to blame. And I understand that I was a very convenient person for him to blame. But I had absolutely no responsibility for Kurt's death.
So, Kurt is found on the beach, fell from these cliffs. The Coast Guard says, well, first of all, let's back up a bit. He spent the night with Creepy Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
Spent the night at Creepy Gabe's house.
At the time, by the way, the math in this, Gabe is 36. Kurt's 17. Keep going.
He doesn't look 36.
Yeah. Yeah.
There must be something to that pagan religion, because I really had that guy pegged to be like 23.
He's onto something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he spends the night. Oh, yeah, now that does make it even creepier. 36 and 17.
Yeah.
Kurt spends the night at Gabe's house. Gets up in the middle of the night. It's hot in, the bedroom that he's in. So he says he's going to go for a walk. Gabe says he's going to go for a walk.
Which in the I'm sure no one knows the actual dialogue, but in the show he says, "It's hot in here. I'm going to go to the beach."
Oh, yeah. He does.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I think wait a minute. I have that clip.
You have that
Hang
clip?
on. I do have that clip. Hang on. Let me back up here. Yeah, this can maybe explain it better than we can. Here we go.
Saturday, September 10th. Kurt had planned to spend the night at Karadic's apartment. They had dinner, went to a movie, and around midnight, Kurt went swimming at Ocean Beach, a few blocks from Karadic's home. Later, Kurt was restless and couldn't sleep. According to Karadic, Kurt knocked on his door about 3 in the morning.
It's too hot in here. I'm going to the beach.
See?
Kurt was never seen again.
My best guess is simply that he took one too many chances. He might have gone swimming in the ocean and been pulled out by the undertow. He might have gone climbing on the cliffs at Land's End and slipped and fallen, or any one of a number of other things.
Wow. I mean,
yeah.
Creepy Gabe just has it all figured out, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has the whole story in his head.
Yeah, obviously he got pulled on by the undertow.
See, I think your opinion is changing as we do this show as well.
Well, after watching it, I watched it last night.
Mm-hmm.
But since I watched it last night, or 2 nights ago, I mean, the Gabe factor is all the other stuff, like the satanic worship and the cult and the D&D and the LARP and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 17-year-old geek being a 17-year-old geek in 1988. But Gabe is so creepy through this. And I didn't know he was 36.
Yeah.
Because he does look really young. I knew that he was a little older, but I honestly thought he was like 23, 20, between 23 and 25.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was 10 years off. What I won't play, because it goes way long, is the cops show up. Well, they find Kurt's car at a golf course. And there's all sorts of beer bottles and beer cans in the car.
Old Milwaukee cans, by the way.
Yeah, it was old Milwaukee. The Beast. Oh, no, that's Milwaukee's best.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, best, yeah.
So they find all of that. They find his wallet. And then they make a big deal, like, and $20 stuffed in the seat.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
And his armor was missing from the trunk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And his armor was missing. Okay. I think I have that.
Yeah,
We'll
let's
just
play
play
it.
it.
Yeah.
We'll just play it. Here we go.
The following evening, Kurt's car was found, abandoned on a golf course overlooking the ocean. There were a number of puzzling clues. Kurt's driver's license was on the floor. His car keys were on the seat. A $20 bill was in the glove compartment.
Okay.
The prize suit of armor which Kurt had made for his SCA sword fighting was missing from the trunk.
Were those bees?
Most curious of all, there were beer bottles scattered in and around the car.
The car has to be a phony scene. To me, that was set up because Kurt did not drink beer. That's also inconsistent with the autopsy report that shows that there was no signs of alcohol or drugs on the body when it was recovered. So that looks very suspicious.
I feel so bad for Kurt's dad through this.
Yeah, the first part of that sentence and statement, I kind of thought he was fooling himself, but then the autopsy prove me wrong.
Yeah.
He said, this is bad because there's beer all around the car. And Kurt doesn't drink beer. I'm like,
well, you just don't know.
He's
Kurt
a 17-year-old boy.
Yeah.
I mean, in the
1980s.
Exactly. But then he says the autopsy reports show no alcohol or drugs in there.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
So, we don't know. Then the next day, the Coast Guard finds the body on the beach. And then the Coast Guard says he fell off the cliff, he stumbled. Apparently, the coroner tells Kurt's dad, I'd say homicide, but I can't prove it, so I have to say accidental death.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're at. That's the story of Kurt McFall.
Yeah.
Kurt befriended this creepy Gabe guy, stayed the night at his house, was never seen from again. Well, the next time he was seen, he was dead.
On this subreddit I'm on here, there are people personally involved in the story, like members of that group.
Uh-huh.
And one person here says that Gabe was a master of words. And the last thing he says in that interview on Unsolved Mysteries, he says, we just heard it. I have absolutely no responsibility for his death, which is a scary, weird way to say he didn't do it. The way he says it reminds me of a double speaky way to say it was his own fault. I had to murder him. And when you think about it like that, I had absolutely no responsibility for his death, which could mean he didn't say he didn't do it. He says he had no responsibility for it.
Yeah, because we just heard that clip.
Yeah. Weird, huh?
Yeah.
He never once said he didn't do it.
So what would be the motive?
He said it's kind of his dodging language to sort of say it is not on me. I don't know. If they were, had a relationship, 36 years old, 17 years old, and he threatened to, call it, maybe at that point in time, it's illegal. And threatened to call, his dad. He knew his dad would go.
So we think that there was a relationship more than just
that's possible.
A buddy in the pagan group.
That's possible. Yeah, because they've done more research in the obituary. Gabe did have a male partner at the time of his death 10 years ago, so it's confirmed he was a homosexual. So it's not a large leap there to take that they had a relationship at a big, vast age difference. It's possible.
So if Gabe was 36 in this, how old was Kurt's dad, I wonder? Because I was putting Kurt's dad like mid-40s. Tops.
Yeah.
So I wonder, that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So Kurt's dad would be probably in his mid-70s by now, if he was still around.
Yeah. Because they just said on here, Kurt's birthday he would be 50 this year. This was last year. He'd be 51 now.
Wow.
Kurt would be. Yeah.
So at the end of every story, we get the wrap-up from Robert Stack, Bobby Stack.
Currently, Tom McFall is the only person investigating his son's death. If Kurt was murdered, he hopes that even now, 3 years later, someone will come forward with new information, new evidence that could reopen the investigation and provide peace of mind for himself and justice for his son.
Up next.
The story of a mysterious bag of unopened letters dating back 40 years. They were written by GIs sailing off to battle in World War II and have yet to reach their lost loved ones.
So that's Unsolved Mysteries.
Where did the armor go? That's right.
The armor's gone. Another mysterious aspect to this is, and his dad believes this, that there may have been more blood missing from the body than you would suspect from just simply falling from the cliffs.
Mm-hmm.
But they're very rocky cliffs.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much that holds.
I was curious on the scale, like where his car was. How far was his car from where the cliff was? Was
the
it
golf
right
course was right? The golf course went to the edge of the cliff, and then he was at the bottom of the cliff. So car up top, golf course, cliffs. Kurt's found on the beach.
I think if this were today in 2018, this crime would be solved. I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think we have enough forensic science now that this would have been solved.
Yeah.
And quite possibly could have been murder.
Yeah.
But I doubt that murder was fueled through Satanism.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
I think this was more of, if it was murder, if it was gay, and I have kind of changed my tune.
You have since the beginning of the show here. Yeah.
Yeah. If Creepy Gabe had something to do with the death of Kurt, I think it was more domestic than Satanism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Is that, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So
that got deep.
Yeah. But it's always fun to go back to these old
Yeah,
Unsolved
it is.
Mysteries.
Yeah.
I looked online. I found this one by looking up, because I just searched, favorite Unsolved Mysteries, and or creepiest unsolved mysteries. There's one I want to do that involves New Kids on the Block.
Really?
A missing girl, and they believe that in one of New Kids on the Block's concert videos, she shows up on the video.
Wow.
When they pan the crowd.
Wow.
Yeah. And to the point where members of New Kids on the Block are on Unsolved Mysteries asking her to come home if she actually was at that concert.
Wow.
Like authorities believed it was her.
That's creepy.
In the concert video. Yeah.
We should. Yeah, I want to watch that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll send you the link. Or I'll send you the episode number.
That's awesome.
So that's this week in NWO special, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I'm just looking for a reason to play this. Okay, if you want to be part of the Twinkie Pickle Challenge, 55-star reviews, key slime pie Twinkie that expired 2 years ago. I'll eat it. 25, I'll eat my podcast roll. 25 $5 patrons on Patreon, patreon.com/podcasserole. I'll eat the old LAX pickle. You can go to our Facebook page and get more information.
Yeah,
That's easy to find.
That is facebook.com/AdamandJP. Check out patreon.com/podcastroll to become a patron and make him eat that pickle.
Eat it.
Eat that pickle.
I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
And eat your podcast roll.
This has been a production of the Adam and JP family of on-demand talk radio.
AdamandJP.com.
Right now.